CostaRicaNow.com, and me and Dan are both wearing white shirts. I'm not sure how that's playing video. Hey guys, this is Dan. We're going to be talking to Dan a lot about real estate, buying real estate, building here, all kinds of videos. I made a video a couple weeks ago concerning rental properties that people wanted to come down and thinking about living in Costa Rica.
Sure.
This was the time, man. I mean, there are so many vacancies all over, everywhere.
Right.
But let's talk about why this would be a good time maybe purchasing real estate.
Right.
Not trying to talk you into buying anything. We're just saying if you've already thought about that, you already considered Costa Rica, and you might want to move your timetable up a little bit because this would be the time for bargains.
Strike all the irons hot, absolutely.
So, what do you think?
Well, let's just say that everybody's going to make their own decisions and prices are going down on everything, but everywhere. But in this particular country, we've started to see some really interesting properties come up. And sort of I make the decision based on the fact, like, would I want to buy that property for that price? And there's a couple that I'm like, oh my God.
Well, for example,
well, there's one property, it's close, it's in the north, it's got a view of another volcano, which is actually erupting right now. It has a hot springs on it, 20 acres, and it's selling for 400 grand. And it's in that area, it's almost completely non-developed except for one resort. There's only one hot springs resort in that whole area. So you basically become like a pioneer in a property. And a property like that in La Fortuna would cost in the millions, which is they're costing in the hundreds of thousands. So it's very inexpensive for something that you need.
You pretty much could write your own property. I mean, right now is the time. I mean, there's got to be just
depending
a
on what you're
million.
looking for. I mean, there are.
I mean, buildings, and there's going to be
things coming up.
Hotels and stuff, right? That are going to be
also. But the hotels, it's a little different because when they had the crash in 2008, the banks usually come in and they support the hotels. So basically, a bunch of hotels don't go into what do you call that, foreclosure at the same time. They kind of support them. But a lot of other properties here, like we saw a property close to Ciudad Quesada, which you know where that is, which is a nice town.
We're in La Fortuna, guys. Ciudad Quesada is about 50 minutes away.
But it's about 50,000 people. It's clean. It's got a nice climate. So an area out there, and it was over 20 acres with internal roads, with its own water supply, with a river passing through it. $240,000, things like that. And it's like those are some. We're starting to see properties like values that we haven't seen in like 20 years.
So we've hit on it in other videos, but how would these people find these places? You know, like
you're going to need to have somebody find them for you because a lot of these people basically they've come into cash crunches, and so they're just trying to throw their properties online, and so they advertise it in all these different places. But then you have to sort the wheat from the chaff, and there's a lot of chaff.
Yeah.
So you have to consider that as well.
Well, what do you mean? So
like if you're going to find 5 properties that seem cheap, and then you go out there and only 1 or 2 of them are actually going to be cheap, and the other ones are like, well, yes, it's a low price, but for what this is, it's too much work. So things like that.
So you're still going to need a real estate agent to help you.
A real estate agent or somebody who knows about land, things like that, because there's a lot of land deals right now, specifically. Other properties, I mean, you'll see for sale signs if you drive around a particular area. That's easy.
I mean, so obviously they got to kind of have their location down because I mean
that's a big thing for here because most people say I want to move to Costa Rica, and I always tell people, well, where? Because on one hand you move to San Jose, and that's the big city, but it's also
they asked me where they should move.
Sure, of course. Well, I mean, if you didn't know, I mean, that I would ask you, like, well, where do you think I should go? Because most people want to go to the big city, but the big city here it's okay, but it's, you know, lots of smog and lots of traffic. There's nice parts, but it's kind of dirty, and it's expensive in most cases. Like if you go to the city like Escazú or Santa Ana, I mean, it's almost the same price it is in California or something like that. But if you go out into the you know, a lot of people want to go to the beach, which is very nice, but then you get bored because these beach towns are really only set up for tourism. So things like that. So for me, it's sort of like finding a place that's somewhere between someplace a little bit rural and someplace a little city, so that way you'll have access to all of it. And to me, that seems a little bit better. But so
they should have some sort of location kind of that they're considering, or a couple of, because there's a lot of different. I mean, there's a million different areas in Costa Rica, man. There's a lot of considerations.
And they're very different, like in terms of climate and
culture, the Caribbean side down
versus
here.
Guanacaste versus, yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, that would probably be the best thing to say. If somebody's interested in a property, the first thing you do is, you know, rent a car for a month and just drive around and find someplace you like.
I mean, this is going to be such a buyer's market. I mean,
It's
it's
a
going to
buyer's
be
market
a
right now.
huge buyer's market. And,
Right.
I really think if people were already considering,
Right.
already thinking about moving prior to this
Yeah.
whole pandemic thing, then they really should look at their schedules and see if they can't
I mean, this
maybe...
would be a chance to scoop up some gems, for sure.
What would you think? Obviously, you can't really say, but I would think there would be just considerable savings.
Well, I mean,
there's going to be so much property and
Right.
stuff out there.
yeah. I mean, there's obviously some people. I mean, I've seen properties that are like operating businesses, dairy farms, things like that. Hotels, I've been seeing that they're trying to sell them very inexpensively, and obviously these places are going to reopen. But at this particular point, there's some that are putting their people need to get out at this point because they're stuck under their loans.
I mean, like even the rental properties. I mean, around where I live, there's like every other house is for rent, or an empty.
I saw a 6-bedroom house with a pool for $30 a night, and that used to be $250 a night for that place. $30 a night, so you could probably rent that place for a month for $800, and they'd be happy with it right now.
Well, anything else?
No, I think that, but a person who has to do that, just so you know, most people who would be interested in scooping up a deal right now, you need cash. Most people are not going to finance because the only reason why they're putting it on the market
It's because they need the
is
cash.
because they need to raise the cash. So, you might be able to get financing, but you're going to have to come up with 50% or something like that.
So you're talking kind of serious inquiries, people that kind of understand.
I mean, right now is the moment. Maybe it'll go on a little bit longer, but right now is a very good time for picking up fire sale assets, for sure.
So, guys, I would just recommend, if you're already thinking about Costa Rica, maybe move up your timeline a little bit. And if you want to get a hold of Dan, email me, and I'll get you in contact with Dan if you have any questions for him. He can answer, because he does more than just kind of real estate. We didn't mention it, but you say it again.
Whatever people need, like if somebody needs to open a business here, or whatever people
You
actually
manage
need to have
construction sites and stuff, right? Is that true? Right?
I try not to do that whenever possible, but...
I'm sorry, should I have not mentioned that?
No, that's totally fine, because the point is that's how I can tell people what's good and what's not, is because I do construction for people, but it's not easy here, especially with the climate, so I try to recommend people out of that, but on the other hand, sometimes it's necessary.
I got to say, it is nice to have a gringo in the between the the wheat and the chaff.
You actually walk into a house and the switch is right here where it's supposed to be. You don't go like looking around here in the dark looking for a light switch and things like that. Yes, absolutely.
All right, guys. I'm Michael Allen, TravelCostaRicaNow.com. Peace, guys. Hope it helps.